All right, it's finally happened. We need to stop. We need to talk about it. As the thumbnail already says, we're talking about life in the UK, this energy crisis that's going on here. It's hit me, so that means it's hit you. And I just wanted to explain what's going on and how I plan to deal with it, what I can deal with it. Thank you for stopping by. My name is International Carl. Please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. Thank you. Now let's get back to the video. Because here in the UK, I've seen articles that say that inflation is going to go from 8% as high as 18%. And I just don't know how people are going to deal with this shock. Because if I want to talk about what's going on here in this house. So for those that are not familiar with the UK, I consider it property tax. Here they call it council tax. So you have a grading scale from A to F. And A is the lowest band to F is the highest band. Well, this house is an F band. So the council tax has now gone up. I'm getting notices about that. That my council tax has moved up. So I moved from E to F. So now my council tax is going up even more. I think it's gone up by percentage-wise, somewhere about 40%, something like that. From moving the band and then the increase that they put on the council tax. So that right there is a shocker. But what I really wanted to talk about, what just happened to me, what I just opened in the mail right over there, energy prices. And it's not going to affect me so much as I might be making out here in this video, but it's really going to affect you, some of the viewers. And I was talking with my dad this morning at I think I called him about 4 or 5 o'clock this morning. We talked for about an hour today as he's in California. So the time difference. So we were talking and I was just explaining to him is that it was not going to affect me as much, but think about people out there right now in the UK or in the US who literally to this day are living paycheck to paycheck. Whatever they got by the end of the month, maybe they have 10, maybe they have 20 pounds, or maybe they're fortunate enough to have 100 pounds left over, okay, at the end of the month. But a lot of people just live in paycheck to paycheck. And what's just happened for me is my energy bills have gone up. So if I rewind back some time, I can talk about how my energy bill, they put me on a tariff, what they call here a tariff, and it was higher than my actual consumption. So I was just giving them a free money every month. Month on month, I'm giving them free money. And it ballooned up, and so they dropped the tariff down to, I want to say 68 pounds a month. And that was with all the extra credit I was using, because I don't use a lot of energy. As I was explaining to some of my friends the other day, I can go back to a story when I was younger living in LA area that I had a 1-bedroom apartment. And one thing that I was doing to try to save some of my money was I actually had taken all the lights out of the house and had one light bulb in the kitchen. And I was just taking that light bulb. It's a true story. I was taking that light bulb from the kitchen and into the bathroom because I took all the lights out of the bedroom because in my mind, I was like, well, if I'm going in the bedroom, I'm just going there to sleep or I'm going to go dance horizontally. For those that don't know what that is, you know what that is. So I don't need the lights. I don't need a light bulb in there. So it stopped me from flicking the light on and keeping it on. And then when I was in the front room, I just had natural light. And so I didn't need that, or I would turn the kitchen light on. It'd be enough because I'd maybe turn the TV on. So that's how I was keeping my bills down back in the day when I was younger. But fast forward to today, and I don't live like that, but day to day, I still do some of the same things. Like right now, if I look out and if I think everything is cut off in the house right now, the only thing running is the Wi-Fi and some security cameras. That's it. And of course, the ring light here. But what I'm really talking about is that how it's going to affect me. My price has just gone up from about 70 pounds to 100 and I think the bill said 170 pounds. So an extra 100 pounds in energy usage is now going to be attributed to me. And I think about all the people who are going to live paycheck to paycheck. Those are people that are working really hard right now to provide for themselves or provide for their families. And then pensioners, people who are retired, who are living on strict budgets. If I just got £100 increase, what about somebody who also is receiving, say, a £50 increase? How are they going to absorb that? I can absorb the £100 increase. Don't worry about me at home. I'm going to be fine. Power is going to be just fine. I'm not going to struggle paying the gas bill or the gas and electric bill. But it got me sympathetic to those people who are living paycheck to paycheck. And as I explained to my dad, and this don't want to get too much into politics, this is just life in the UK. What's going on in the year 2022 as we go into leaving the summer, going into the fall? And this is what's going on. We're having a crisis, cost of living crisis, as they say on TV. And I can see and understand how it's going to implement. I'm curious what your plans are. Have you been hit with any high gas prices, high, gas and electric bill? What kind of bill shock are you receiving right now? I am aware that the UK is planning to give everybody, I think, £400, something like that. Is that going to help? Is that going to cause even more inflation? What is that going to do? I'm curious what your thoughts are on that and what's going on in your household. How are you planning to deal with the cost of living crisis, all this inflation? Because God forbid 18% inflation that hits. Another thing that's happening that's affecting me, and I could no longer stomach it, or I couldn't absorb it too much, is that now that interest rates keep going up as a homeowner of multiple units, I've had to raise rents so high. And I've had to put other tenants on notice to say, listen, this property is going to raise in rent £400-500. You got to be prepared for that. And I'm going to tell you when it's time. I'm going to give you 90 days, more than 30 days. I'm going to give you a 90-day notice so you can tell me what you want to do. During the pandemic, doing everything, I worked with all of them. I froze their rents for 90 days. I lowered the bills for another 90 days in terms of rent. I took home less rent. So I did my part, but now it's becoming unattainable. I can't personally absorb all that cost. So that's just kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Let me know in the comments what you think are. Also, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. We'll talk more about this. Maybe we'll do a live video chat on this. But hey, International Carl signing off. I thank you so much for all my followers. Let me give a shout out to Howard. Let me give a shout out to Jude. Let me give a shout out to Zachary. Zachary, if you've made it this far, you should be here in the UK now. You've come from New Mexico. So shout out to you, Zachary. And, how could I forget Carly? So Carly and all the rest, thank you so much for my followers. I will catch you on the next video. I'll catch you on the next live, and I will see you later. Peace.